Good morning everyone. As you can tell, I'm not at home, I'm in a hotel in Berlin for a short business trip, and I thought this short business trip would be a good situation to test out the PeakDesign Doppkit. So first and foremost, before I go into the review of the PeakDesign Doppkit, this is just a short business trip, but I want to test out this PeakDesign Doppkit properly. So I filled it up to the brim with a lot of items that I don't need at this business trip, just to give you an impression on how many items you can actually fit inside this Doppkit. Oh, and furthermore, a Doppkit is basically just a wash bag. I actually don't know where the term Doppkit comes from. If you know where it comes from, let me know in the comment section below. So a wash bag, Doppkit. In Germany you call this Kulturtasche. It's basically just a pouch or a cube for all of your items that you need in the bathroom. So shower gels, shampoo, lotions, your razor, your toothbrush, all of that stuff that can get wet and that you need more or less a little bit organized, because usually inside a hotel bathroom you don't have that much space. Be it not enough space to store all of your items or not enough space to put this Doppkit onto a shelf or something. In this hotel you can see I have a place where I can put this on a little shelf, but you have also the option to hang the Doppkit on this little metal hook, which is really good because, as I mentioned, you don't have that much space in hotel bathrooms. So, and with the Doppkit inside a hotel, I also like to keep everything inside the Doppkit to have a good glance and all of the items, not necessarily when I'm using it, but when I'm leaving it. I basically have everything inside. I can just zip it up, take it out and put it back into my bag. I won't forget anything. Furthermore, and more importantly, it's hygienic because I don't need to put my toothbrush on the sink of the hotel. So everything stays as clean as possible, at least as clean from my perspective. Obviously this will get dirty and you can wash it up, but at least I don't get the germs of other people onto my stuff. And especially during these times, I think this is pretty important. Speaking of getting stuff wet or cleaning this up, this is actually made of some water resistant material. So when you put this in the shower, for instance, or on the sink, the bottom will get wet, but you can just wipe it off and then you are good to go. It's dry really quickly. And for all of those items inside, it's also important that this is water resistant or waterproof, especially with the zippers. These are not to keep everything dry inside, but rather to keep all of the stuff from spilling onto your clothing in your backpack or your bag. So if something spills inside, this waterproof zipper, this AquaGuard zipper, will prevent stuff from leaking outside onto your clothing. And no one wants that. You don't want to go on a vacation, on a business trip, open up your bag and see all shampoo or shower gel on your clothing. That would be terrible. So having this WaterGuard zipper and waterproof material is really helpful. Speaking of waterproof, furthermore, you have two pockets that are kind of waterproof or spill proof. So in the front you have this little pocket where you could store your toothbrush or your razor to keep it separate from the items inside, but also in the middle there is a little pocket for your toothbrush to keep the bristles from touching anything other inside the Doppkit or the other stuff getting wet from your toothbrush once you used it. And inside the main compartment there is a plethora of slots and little compartments for all of your little tidbits and smaller items that you don't want to rattle around inside the compartment. And as you can see, you can fit a lot of stuff inside this Doppkit. There's plenty of space for this, and even for bigger bottles. For instance, I have these liquids for my contact lenses. These are fairly tall, so they don't fit in a vertical orientation, but you can easily just put them horizontally and then they fit properly. Plenty of stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bigger of these kind of bottles with liquids, and plenty of smaller items as well in this PeakDesign Doppkit. Yeah, as mentioned, plenty of storage. I think you are good to go if you are carrying a lot of items with this. By the way, this is actually also pretty good as an alternative to PeakDesign's tech pouch. You can easily use this for a mouse, charger and stuff like that. But let's concentrate on using this as a Doppkit. So let's go to the negative. I mentioned that you can fit a lot of items into this Doppkit, and with that there comes a certain size. I know I filled this up to the brim with a lot of items, but even not filled up completely, you can see here this has a predetermined shape. This is basically like 1.5 milk cartons. You can see in my review of the PeakDesign Tech pouch that you can see in the info tab above, I made a small little comparison that the Tech pouch is almost as big as 2 milk cartons, and this is just a tad, just slightly smaller than the Tech pouch. So this has quite some heft to it. Empty, it's not that heavy, but as mentioned, it's a predetermined shape, so you can't like squash it up. It's not like a tote bag or something that could get smaller once you try to pack it inside your bag. This is a predetermined shape. So as mentioned, around 1.5 milk cartons. This could limit your space inside your bag quite a lot if you are trying to travel with a carry-on bag only. So keep this in mind. Measure out if you actually need that much shower gel items, or if you could just throw them into a Ziploc bag and put them into your carry-on backpack. Oh, now that I think of it, if you're traveling with a carry-on bag alone, you actually only can carry a Ziploc bag, so this might be too big anyways for carry-on friendly traveling. So if you're traveling with just one bag, or your check-in bag is a little bit smaller, keep in mind this is quite big. So next, this is not necessarily a negative, but something to keep in mind. When you notice inside the website, this little small pocket in here is supposed for the toothbrush, but I noticed if you actually fill the bag up to the brim, which you probably shouldn't do anyways, but if you do it like me to test it out, to fill it up with as many items as possible, this compartment for your toothbrush gets a little bit crowded from the other items. So it's better to have the toothbrush in this compartment here in the front so it doesn't get squeezed that much. But other than that, there isn't that much of a negative that I can say about the PeakDesign Doppkit. All of the compartments, just like in a PeakDesign Tech pouch, all of the zippers and slots need a little bit more fabric, which then again results in some, let's say, excessive bulk. If you don't have all of these compartments, all of these zippers, obviously there is not much space occupied by that fabric and those zippers, so the pouch could get smaller and more compact, but then again everything would rattle around. So there is a compromise to be made if you want to keep everything as organized as possible. And I think with the Doppkit it's more important to have everything organized opposed to cables, because if it's not organized, all of your liquids or all of your hygienic items could just mix up, spill out, and you don't want to have shampoo on your toothbrush or on your toothpick, or mix your contact lenses with body lotion, for instance. That would be terrible. And with cables, if the cables rattle around in a tech pouch, for instance, I feel like that's not that big of an issue. It's not as comfortable to easily find the cables, but it wouldn't be a disaster. But with the Doppkits, I feel like it's good that everything is very organized and has its place. You can find stuff more easily and don't lose stuff inside this big compartment. So the trade-off of having so many compartments and therefore a little bit much of a bulk is, to my eyes, worth it because everything is organized and is clean. With the tech pouch, personally, you don't need that many slots and rather lose a little bit of that bulk, because also all of the cables, all of your gadgets are a little bit more heavier. So every small little gram is necessary, let's say it that way. And the Doppkit will be in your bigger luggage anyways, or at least this Doppkit, because it's so big. So I feel like those grams that you potentially could save by losing those extra compartments is negligible. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, there aren't that many negatives. So bottom line, the Peak Design Doppkit, extremely well made, extremely well designed. I like all of the small compartments. There are not too many, not too few, because sometimes if there are too many, they do confuse me at least. If there are too many compartments, I sometimes don't know where to put what item, or I forget where I put that item. But with a Doppkit, I feel like this is the right amount of compartments, of zippered pockets, without overwhelming me and confusing me and losing stuff inside this Doppkit. The build quality, as mentioned, is great. The features are great. The only thing to actually keep in mind is that this is very bulky and will occupy a lot of space inside your bag. Other than that, if you're looking for, let's say, a very technical Doppkit, because this is, I feel like my wife wouldn't really like the look of this Doppkit. It's more of a manly Doppkit, but I can see this also being unisex. It's just very technical in terms of looks and in terms of features. So yeah, if you're looking for a really cool, well-made Doppkit, then I can highly recommend the PeakDesign Washbag / Doppkit. So my question to you is, what kind of washbag or Doppkit do you use? Do you feel like this is too much? Don't you need that much space, that much organization for all your toiletries? Let me know in the comment section below. And like always, if you have any more questions, also comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button. And please feel free to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell icon so you won't miss next videos. Thank you very much.